watching CBS 8 Mornings at 5.
Good morning, everybody. Back in the saddle again after a week off. Nice to see you as well.
It's amazing what a week off does, right?
It does, yes.
You feel good?
Like sleeping in.
Oh, no alarm. What is that?
I'll tell you, the kids are a natural alarm.
Right.
They just don't wake me up at 3 in the morning.
That's different. There's a
Closer
few hours
to 6.
there.
Yeah, especially on Easter morning.
Oh,
you know, they're excited to go find their baskets and all that stuff. So glad to be back with you. I'm Eric Connard.
And I'm Netta Rampur. And yeah, it was a beautiful Easter Sunday for people who were celebrating. Kind of warm, I will say. We were like doing Easter egg hunts out in the sunshine and needed to lather on that sunblock a lot because these little ones just rub it off quickly.
Evan, I skipped the Easter suit this year. I just went with the dress shirt.
I was out at the park on Saturday and I was wearing a shirt and I had my guard down because it was a little bit of a cooler day on Saturday. There were some clouds in and out. I even at one point had a jacket on, and by the end of the day, I was looking at my face and I was like, I am burnt.
You got burnt?
You can
burn.
I barely ever burn. And I was like, wow, San Diego sun was out
We're
this
getting
weekend.
into spring here now, like deeper in.
So hey, lather it on. Absolutely. Today's one of those days. It's 5:01 right now. Temperatures are right now in the 50s. We're at 58 degrees under cloudy skies, a patchy marine layer to start off the morning. 70 by this afternoon with plenty of sunshine, 78 inland, 71 across those mountains, and upper 90s near triple digits for the deserts. Today, temperatures are trending about 10 degrees above average, at least for your mountains and your deserts. Along the coast, a little bit cooler, but still involving quite a bit of sunshine before we transition to cooler temperatures and a good chance for some wet weather in the forecast as we head toward Thursday and Friday. Details on what that wet weather could look like for us. It's coming up in just a few minutes.
This morning, your personal information is back in the spotlight here. There's word that Scripps Health is sending another round of data breach letters.
More letters may be coming your way, so it comes after 1 year after the healthcare group dealt with that ransomware attack, so you may have received notices then. CBS 8's Dana Marie McNichol live in Chula Vista now to explain the latest. Good morning.
Good morning. Well, I'm outside Scripps Mercy Hospital, Chula Vista, where this is just one of many hospitals affected by that data breach. May of 2021. Now, people who are receiving these letters now are surprised they're coming so late after that initial breach. We have new information this morning from the Union Tribune, and I'm breaking down exactly those key points for you. Now, Scripps says that they already mailed a first round of breach notice to an estimated 1,444,000 affected patients last year, but hasn't said how many they are sending out this year in the second round. So why now? The hospital is in the middle of a class action lawsuit, and according to Scripps, after manual review of documents, they just found that additional patient information was stolen by hackers. Now, here's some background on the situation. The cyber attack forced San Diego County's second largest health system to cancel hundreds of medical appointments and temporarily return to paper charts because of the ransomware forced to shut down its electronic medical records. Now, this lost the hospital about $113 million in revenue during the month of May. Now, as it indicated in the letter to affected patients, Scripps offers monitoring to anyone whose Social Security or driver's license number was found in documents taken during the breach. Scripps also says that to date, it has found no indication that this data has been used to commit fraud. Now, in terms of exactly how this data breach happened about a year ago, it's still a mystery for the public. But we are keeping you updated, working for you in terms of those second rounds of letters, and we'll continue to update if we find any information on why this happened about a year ago. I'm Dana Marie McNichol. I'll send it back to you.
Dana Marie, thank you. A reminder here this morning, the deadline to file for taxes. It's today.
Yeah, if you've made more than $12,550, but then less than $73,000 last year, you can file for free using the IRS Free File website. There are other options to get your taxes done at no cost. Go to our website. We have options for you at cbs8.com. Click on the help button, and we'll have more timely tips from the IRS coming up in a live report in our next half hour.
Right now, police are still searching for 2 teens accused of robbing and shooting a father in El Cajon. So this happened on Saturday night around 10:45 p.m. outside the Mr. Shawarma food truck at East Washington Avenue on Hamishaw Road. Police say 1 teen robbed a man and his son. Officers say one of the teens shot the father after the teen started chasing them. The father is expected to survive. Call El Cajon police if you have any information. This morning, a suspected shooter and car thief is in custody here. Police say he opened fire at Emerald Hills Park, then led police on a stolen chase in a car. The shooting happened yesterday around 1 p.m. off Kelton Road at south of State Route 94. This caused a chase. It ended in Hillcrest when the man crashed the car. Police arrested him after he jumped out of that vehicle.
It's been a weekend of gun violence across the U.S., sadly, with 3 mass shootings in 2 states. The latest being in Pittsburgh. 2 people died, 8 other people were injured there.
The other 2 shootings took place in South Carolina. Tom Hansen has the latest updates now on these developing situations.
The smashed windows, a hint of the violence that erupted here, turning a house party into a bloody crime scene. At least 2 male victims died in the shooting, the neighborhood traumatized. Mitchell Wilston lives nearby.
I'm going to go wash blood off of my wife's car, which is like a really depressing way to spend Easter.
More than a dozen party guests were injured, some from gunshots, others from the rush to escape. Police say more than 200 people were packed into the Airbnb, many of them minors.
And here we are, Easter, and we have multiple families, 2 that won't see a loved one, others that are going to be. How can you even have a holiday when your child was involved in something traumatic like this?
Hours before the Pittsburgh shootings, in broad daylight, gunfire shattered an afternoon of shopping at a busy mall in Columbia, South Carolina. 9 people suffered gunshot wounds.
We believe that the individuals that were armed knew each other. There was some type of conflict that occurred that resulted in gunfire.
South Carolina authorities are also investigating a shooting at a club in Hampton County that left at least 9 people injured.
Now, police have arrested a 22-year-old man in that South Carolina mall shooting. The victims range from ages 15 to 73. No fatalities were reported. Tom Hansen, CBS News, New York.
Russia's offensive on Ukraine did not relent for Easter Sunday. Multiple airstrikes targeted key cities across Ukraine. Ukrainian officials say 5 people died following an attack on Kharkiv in Ukraine's east. They say at least 6 died in a different airstrike on Lviv, which is in the west. This comes as an estimated 2,500 Ukrainian troops in Mariupol have rejected an ultimatum to lay down their arms, even though they may be surrounded by Russian forces.
They continue their struggle. But it seems from the way Russian army behaves in Mariupol, they decided to raze the city to the ground at any cost.
100,000 civilians remain in Mariupol, which had a pre-war population of about 450,000. Officials estimate about 21,000 people have died in the city so far.
And now today marks another step here locally towards clearing the confusion for good on those lane markings in Mira Mesa. Crews are painting permanent road markings along Gold Coast Street. The so-called advisory bike lanes are painted over for the most part and back to its previous design. So we've been working for you on this to make sure that work is complete. CBS 8 will keep you posted on the very latest updates there. And we're about an hour away from the 126th Boston Marathon. It's happening here very soon. This year's race features runners from all 50 states, 122 different countries. People all around the world want to be part of it.
Always quite a sight to see, isn't it? It's the first time in 3 years that the marathon has returned to its traditional springtime slot. For both pros and first-timers alike, this race has a history, especially for American Molly Seidel. She lived in Boston after college and won the bronze in the 2020 Tokyo Summer Games.
It's really meaningful feeling like I'm coming home, getting to be on a course that I trained on so much and watched every year.
The races get underway just after 6 a.m. our time. So yeah, here we go, just under an hour. They're lacing them up, getting all the stretches in right now.
Yeah, I mean, really, within that hour before the race, your nerves are going.
Yeah.
Like you have to have already eaten.
Oh yeah.
Do any last minute things?
Right,
yes. Right. But they're usually very prepared. They know what they're up to. Right now, the White House hoping to stir up some excitement with the return of the annual Easter egg roll.
Let's see how many egg puns we can get in here. President Biden and First Lady Jill Biden are welcoming about 30,000 kids and their adult chaperones for the Easter activities here. The First Lady, who is a teacher, as we know, is calling it the Eggucation Roll. For today's event, the South Lawn is a school community featuring a variety of educational activities.
Oh, is that slide the egg with the spoon?
Oh, yeah.
That one?
Lots of
okay.
different excellent options for the kids out there.
We just ended up with, the egg hunt, and then they were opening like 150 different eggs between 3 little kids. So all the toys inside kept them very entertained.
What we ended up doing is we put some candies in some of the eggs, but then we'll just put like a quarter in there.
Oh, money. That's even
my parents
better.
did that.
I'd rather pay the kids to open up than have the sugar high. And deal with that.
And
we went with stickers. We're like, no, little figurines and stickers. Yeah, no sugar.
An 8-year-old is like, a quarter? A whole quarter?
There you go. It all adds up.
They haven't learned about inflation yet.
Invest it now. Invest it now.
I know. You need a lot more if you're going to try to buy something.
Exactly. Just wait. But for now, I mean, hey, going from having no money to having a quarter, I'd take it, right? Good morning to you. It's 5:11 right now. We are starting off with a live look outside. It's still, of course, a very dark start to the day. By the time we get to about 45 minutes from now, some of that light will start to come through. This is from the airport. By this afternoon, we're moving toward some warm temperatures, but onshore flow is going to keep that sea breeze pretty strong across the greater coastline. And what that means is that for San Diego itself and for most of your coastal communities, this afternoon will only rest about a degree above average. But as you head farther inland, Ramona will be about 6 degrees warmer than average. Borrego Springs, as you head all the way to the deserts, 13 degrees warmer than average. So a very nice afternoon. Depending on where you are, the coastline will likely be just around that average point, low 70s or so, upper 70s along your inland valleys and toward your mountaintops. Borrego Springs is looking at mid and upper 90s. Some patchy AM marine layer clouds out there. That's what we have on our infrared satellite loop for the last about 2 hours or so. Could get stronger at times. You can see how that has led to a pretty deep, expansive marine layer from our camera views. That's going to be the case for many, many mornings to come, especially as we head toward the end of the week. It is likely going to be into Thursday and Friday that we start to see this wet weather system arrive and then linger into Saturday. That'll increase our chance for precipitation and cooler temperatures to end this work week. But otherwise, warm, dry, and sunny today before we start to see those cooler temperatures prevail. When we look at fog outside right now, again, we are not seeing much trouble, but we're not also seeing a perfect 10 everywhere. We've got 7 miles of visibility in Oceanside, 7 in El Cajon, 9 in Kearney Mesa, 6 down in Brownfield. So there are a couple trouble spots where those clouds are starting to sink down a bit. We'll talk about what the rest of the day looks like. We'll also talk about that better chance for precipitation coming up in just a few minutes.